Hi folks. So in today's video, we will be talking about logic building in programming, which is one of the most important thing out there. So why logic building? Why we are even talking about logic building? Okay. So the thing is that whenever we are working on a ticket in a real life example, when we work in a company, when they assign us a ticket, okay, the important thing. So you must have learned any kind of programming language. It could be a JavaScript, it could be a Python, it could be Java, anything, right? But every single programming language will consist of logics. Logic are the building blocks. Okay. Uh, any functions, any variables you are making, any logic you are writing, that is what logic building is. Okay. If you're not able to understand it, then solving any problem is way far. Okay. Now logic building consists of two things. Okay. So first is tracking. Okay. Tracking means analyzing. Okay. So let's say if there is a requirement that you have to build a component, or maybe making some changes inside a component, you have to track it, that what is the parent component, what is the child component, where from where we are taking the data, where we are processing it, where we are passing the data. Okay. This is the life cycle that we have to track, that we have to analyze before doing anything. So this is the most important part, tracking. And the second part is data usage and manipulation. Okay. This is the second important thing. So whenever we have a function, obviously we will be using some kind of data inside of it. Now I have a code with me. I have this code with me, which I want you to explain that how exactly tracking and data are in sync, and we can how we are supposed to even check what is the problem, or maybe what is the bug. So let's say uh, I have this application of me that I have created. Okay. And I'll just log in. So let's say there's a feature called send message, and I want to identify how this send message is working. Okay. So this is my code. Okay. What I would do is that I will definitely go inside a component. Okay. Wherever we have implemented the send. Now, this is also a crucial step, that you have to find a component where this send message is implemented. Okay. So right now I'm not running it in a local environment. That's why you won't be able to see it. But whenever you send something, there will be a API call. Okay. And then using that API call, you will be able to see. So this application is based out of Socket.io. Probably that's why you are not able to see anything, but that's how you track the files. That's how you will be able to know which file you're using. Okay. Once you know that this function is the one that we are calling. Okay. So we have to understand this function. Now we have the send function, we are using use callback, and then we are setting some kind of state inside of it. And if we see, we are not doing everything inside this function. We have another function that we are calling. Okay. And this function is located in chat index.jsx. Okay. This is a different file, chat window.js. Okay. So if we go inside of it, we have this function which we are definitely passing via props. Let me just show you. Okay. See, in the chat window, we are passing it via props, the whole function. So this is the tracking that we are doing. Okay. And if I again go to that function, we are taking some kind of data. Okay. All the IDs that we need. Okay. And then we are doing some kind of process. Okay. We are taking the message, we are checking the type of the file, then we are performing some operations, then obviously we are setting some state after some operation. So this is the cycle that we have to understand first. So tracking is something that we are going from one file to another with the data that we need to process. Okay. that will be handled differently in different programming languages. If I talk about React, we have a prop drilling concept, we have a state management concept, but in other programming languages you might have a different concept. But all the programming language will be using one of the most common thing, which is passing the data via function arguments. So take this as an example. We have this function one, okay, and this is in the a.tsx file. Now the function one we are calling, that is defined in b.tsx. So let's say we have imported this function. Oops. Consider import func1 from b, something like that. Okay. We have imported this function, and this function is written inside b.tsx. And that function one is again using function two, which is written inside c.tsx. Okay. So this is the kind of tracking you are doing. Okay. Which function is written in which file, and then probably we have to backtrack it to understand the problem. Either the problem is in this function, in this file, or in this file, or in this file. Okay. Now, why I have mentioned libraries is because there might be a lot of libraries that you might want to learn. Okay. You might want to get expert in, but believe me, the libraries are just to, get the basic idea of it. Unless you are very deeply integrated it in your application, you don't have to deep dive into it, because the most important part will be your logic foundation. Okay. Once you got the logic, you'll be able to find many of the commands, many of the functions, many of the things via Google itself. Okay. You can do that thing, but understanding the logic is the main and the most important part. So these two things are the most important: tracking of the problem, from where the problem is coming from, or from where, what is the origin of the function. And the second thing is how we are manipulating the data, from which function the data is coming, and how we are processing it, where we are processing it, and where we are passing it. So this is the most important topic, logic building, which will always help you to become a better programmer.